Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well today. Welcome back to another Crafty Vlogmas video. Today's video is going to be the third and final video in my 3 velvet thrift flips that I've been doing all of this week. So if you haven't seen the previous 2, I will have them linked below and also in the cards here if you'd like to check them out. But today I'm going to be working with a green velvet maxi dress that came from Goodwill, and I'm going to be turning it into a cute little holiday party dress. So this is what the dress looks like. It has these fun ruched sleeves. It's a little bit shorter than the original dress, and it also has a matching bow belt that goes with it. And for this project, I was taking some inspiration from some dresses from Antonio Milani that I really liked looking at this holiday season. And I love how this one turned out using a thrifted dress. So let's go ahead and jump into this project. Here is how this dress started out. You can see there's not much going on here. It's a very simple design, but I absolutely love the color and the fabric. So let's see what we can turn it into. So the first step to doing this thrift flip was to remove the shoulder pads because this dress does have shoulder pads. And to do this, I am just cutting the stitching with my scissors and taking these out. I wanted to shorten the sleeves and add a little bit of elastic ruching. So to determine the length, I went ahead and gathered up the sleeve with my fingers, and then I could just measure the resulting length to see how short to cut the sleeve. Then I decided I wanted to add a matching belt to this dress, and to make this I'm going to be using this belting that I bought from Joann Fabrics, but I'm also going to be covering this in the fabric. So to get enough fabric to make the belt, I am going to trim away some of the fabric from the hemline of the dress. So I'm going ahead and measuring my piece that fits comfortably around my waist with an overlap so that I can see how much fabric I need to trim away to make the belt. I'm going to cut this piece of fabric so that it's just a little bit bigger than the belt piece so that I can cover the entire piece in the fabric with my seam allowances. So now I'm ready to get started on the sewing process, and the first thing I'm going to do to change this dress up is to add a little bit of elastic to the waistline. Since this doesn't have any shape, this is going to add some shape to the dress and make it fit a little bit better. So I've cut a piece of narrow elastic that fits comfortably around my waist, and then I'm just dividing it into 4 sections here so that I can make sure that it's evenly distributed throughout the entire dress. I'll start by pinning it at the center back since this dress does have a back zipper, and then I'll match one of the pins to the side seams, one to the center front, and one to the other side seam. Now I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine and sew the elastic in place, stretching it to fit, and I'm using twin needle stitching here so that it can just sew across the top of the fabric and still be a stretch stitch. And here you can see just that simple addition of the elastic already really changes the look of this dress. So now I'm ready to hem the sleeves. So I'm just going to fold these sleeves under about 1/2 inch and sew this down with twin needle stitching. And now I'm ready to add this fun elastic ruching to the sleeves. I love how this looks, so I went ahead and experimented on the first one, and then I'm just going to copy it here on the second one. So all I did to create this effect was take a piece of elastic and stretch it on the inside of the sleeve. So I went ahead and pinned it at one end, and then I just sewed this, stretching the elastic as much as possible, a couple of inches up the sleeve until it looked the way that I wanted it to. And once again, I'm using the twin needle stitching for this. I'm going to trim away any of the extra elastic and excess threads, and then I'm ready to move on to the belt. To make this belt, the first thing I want to do is to sew my fabric into a tube. So I'm going to take the velvet piece and fold this so that the right sides are together, and then I'm going to sew all the way along the long edge of this piece. Now I want to make sure that the resulting size is enough room for the belting to fit through a little bit later on. So I'm going to use this belt piece to measure for where I'm going to sew on the fabric. Next, I'm going to trim away any excess seam allowance, and then I'm going to use a safety pin to turn this piece right side out. And now I'm going to use that same safety pin and go ahead and thread the belt through the fabric. And this is actually really easy to do because this velvet is quite stretchy, so I really love the way this turned out. I ended up with a little bit of excess fabric on each of the ends of my belt, so I'm just trimming that away, making sure that I still have enough room to turn this in so that I don't have any raw edges here. And then I'm just going to turn the fabric towards the inside and pin this down, and then use some hand stitches to secure this so that none of the raw edges show. As many of you know, when I'm working on hand sewing, I really like watching YouTube videos or online classes, anything that I can have playing in the background. So it's the perfect time for me to tell you a little bit about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators, and they have so many topics ranging from sewing and knitting to graphic design, photography, business productivity, and so much more. If you like sewing and thrift flips, you might enjoy the Skillshare class I watched most recently. This was called Sewing Basics, Upcycle a New Garment by Vida Vasquez, and this class goes into detail about applique technique. It was really fun and informative to watch. I love that Skillshare is specifically curated for learning, meaning that there are no ads, so I can leave my videos playing in the background regardless of what I'm working on and continue learning. And Skillshare members get unlimited access to thousands of amazing video classes, along with hands-on projects and feedback from the community of millions. And most classes are under 60 minutes, so there's definitely something that will fit with every schedule. This one that I was watching was just around 25 minutes. And if you'd like to try Skillshare out today, they have an amazing special offer for you guys. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so that you can start exploring your creativity today. Thank you again so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to this project. I wanted to add a bow to this belt, so to make this bow I've taken a little rectangle of fabric and then I'm just folding the raw edges towards the middle of the rectangle. Then I'll fold each of the short ends towards the center, and then I'm just going to secure this down with a few hand stitches. I'm going to cut one more rectangle of the velvet and again fold these edges towards the center, and then I'll wrap this around the middle of the bow and secure it in the back with hand stitching. I'm going to trim away this excess fabric here, and then I'm ready to attach the bow to the belt. So I'm just going to sew this on the edge of the belt that will overlap in the front. And then to make sure that this belt stays closed, I'm going to add 2 snaps to the front of the belt and just sew these on by hand. And with the belt done, I was ready to move on to the hem, and I did decide to shorten this quite a bit, so I'm just trimming this to the length that I chose. I ended up with quite a bit of extra fabric, so I need to decide what to do with this extra green velvet. And then I just folded this under about 1/2 of an inch and then hemmed this using twin needle stitching. And then one last detail. Originally I thought I would keep this satin trim on the neckline, but I didn't love the way it looked. It was a little bit distracting from the overall dress, so I decided to fold this towards the inside and then sew all the way around the neckline to secure this in place. I also removed the little hook and eye from the back of the neckline because it was kind of in the way when I folded that satin trim towards the inside. And once the neckline was stitched down, this dress was done, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. It was such a quick and easy little thrift flip to do, and I think the final dress looks so different from the original. I love the ruching on the sleeves, and the little belt is just so cute. So I'm really excited to wear this holiday season. I just love how this dress turned out. I think it's the cutest little party dress, and I'm really looking forward to wearing it this holiday season. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this whole process today. If you haven't caught up on all of my Crafty Vlogmas videos, I will have the playlist with all of them linked down below in the description box, so you can catch up and check all of those out if you are interested. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, you can go ahead and do that now by clicking the red button down below so you can stay tuned for all of my future videos. Thank you again so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Be sure to check out the link in the description to get your 1-month free trial of Skillshare. It's a great opportunity to try them out, so make sure to do that. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time here on my channel today, and I will talk to you in another video very, very soon. Bye!